In the name of Allah, the All-Beneficent, the All-Merciful. The rights and virtues of Mulana AlImam AlImam Ali and other infallible Imams, peace be upon them.
The sermon of Ghadir Khumm confirms the following rights and virtues of Mulana AlImam AlImam Ali, peace be upon him, and the infallible Imams after him.
1. Allah has decreed absolute authority for them over the believers, and thus, just like the Prophet, peace be upon him and his progeny, all their commands must be obeyed unconditionally.
2. Like the Prophet, peace be upon him and his progeny, they have priority over people, and they have more rights over the believers than what they have over their own souls. They should be preferred over others, in position, sayings, ideas, commands, etc., for Allah has preferred them.
3. Allah has made them the leaders of the believers and the medium of divine guidance after the Prophet, peace be upon him and his progeny. They guide people towards the pleasure of Allah, keep them from his disobedience and his wrath, and lead them to paradise.
4. Allah has made them the guardians of the faithful, who protect their close adherents from evil and misguidance. 5. They are the straight path of Allah, whom people are ordered to follow.
6. They have all the knowledge of the Prophet, peace be upon him and his progeny. Allah has placed the knowledge of everything in them. They are the inheritors of all branches of knowledge. Particularly, they possess the complete knowledge of religion. They are authorized to expound the religion and explain its commandments and prohibitions.
7. Allah has authorized them to interpret the Holy Quran and to explain its meaning after the Prophet, peace be upon him and his progeny. No one knows its interpretations, its hidden warnings, and its mysteries except through them. They guide people to the truth of the Quran and call them to it. 8. They are the executors of the will of the Prophet, peace be upon him and his progeny, and the deputies of his affairs, Vasi. Mulana AlImam AlImam Ali, peace be upon him, was the greatest in virtue and rank among the deputies of all the prophets, most of whom were prophets themselves, just as the Prophet, peace be upon him and his progeny, was the greatest among all prophets, peace be upon them.
9. Mulana AlImam AlImam Ali, peace be upon him, is the most virtuous amongst the creation of Allah so long as creation exists.
10. Mulana AlImam AlImam Ali, peace be upon him, was foremost in accepting Islam and worshipping Allah.
11. Mulana AlImam AlImam Ali, peace be upon him, fought against the enemies of Allah by his command and was the greatest helper of religion.
12. Mulana AlImam AlImam Ali, peace be upon him, was the greatest aid and defender of the Prophet, peace be upon him and his progeny. He fought on his behalf and offered his life as a sacrifice for him. His relation to the Prophet, peace be upon him and his progeny, was that of Aaron to Moses, peace be upon them.
13. Mulana AlImam AlImam Ali, peace be upon him, was the dearest and the closest to the Prophet. He is from the Prophet, and the Prophet is from him. The Prophet called him his brother, peace be upon them.
14. The title of the commander of the believers exclusively belongs to him.
15. Allah and his Prophet, peace be upon him and his progeny, are pleased with him. All verses of the Holy Quran that express Allah's satisfaction or praise in their ideal sense have been revealed about him.
16. The divine light, the divine guidance, and the divine leadership have been placed in Mulana AlImam AlImam Ali, peace be upon him, and the Imams from his descendants up to Imam Mahdi, peace be upon him, the last divinely appointed Imam. The earth will never lack an Imam until the day of judgment.
17. Mulana AlImam Ali, Ali, peace be upon him, and the infallible Imams of his descendants are the trustees of Allah, his appointed judges, the vessels of divine knowledge, the greatest proofs of Allah among his creation, and his exhaustive arguments against them.
18. Mulana AlImam Ali, peace be upon him, and the pure members of his progeny constitute one of the two weighty symbols besides the Holy Quran. If people adhere to both, they will be never misled. Each one of the two guides to the other and agrees with it.
19. Mulana AlImam Ali, peace be upon him, and the Imams of his progeny are the most learned about the religion. The lawful and unlawful things are only those that the Book of Allah, the Messenger, and the Imams have declared so, respectively.
20. The last Imam of his descendants, Mulana al-Mahdi, peace be upon him, shall establish the global kingdom of justice. He will revive Allah's religion, and will overcome all religions and ideas. He will annihilate falsehood, will purify the earth from the enemies of Allah, will avenge the blood of all the friends of Allah, and will re-establish the rights of Allah, the Prophet, and his family.